I'm on airplane mode.
I know you said you found it out.
I found airplane mode.
That's good. It's the little things. It's the baby steps, Mike.
Well, until this week, I've just been turning the phone all the way off.
I thought you were just slamming it on the ground till the lights stopped blinking.
Well, that's what I used to do before that, but it started getting a little pricey.
Oh, God.
Oh, we want to see the pooch.
If we can't get him up, you want to call Lester and put him on?
He'll come back on. You know what? Take your phone off airplane mode until we go, because he's probably trying to get a hold of you.
Okay. Now my plane's off airplane mode. My phone is off airplane mode.
You don't even know what you're
doing. I don't
doing.
even have a plane.
You have no idea what's going on, do you, Mike?
No.
Nope.
And
isn't texting.
And your last name is Santori, right, Todd?
Santoro.
Sorry. Santoro.
That's right.
I've never said it the same way twice.
I never want him to tell me or correct his name again, because it sounds like the next one's coming with a Santoro, don't ever forget it. Go sleep with the fishes. Or the horses. Whatever you want to do. There he is. Got him.
Got him.
Got him.
Yep. Hi, Lester.
There he is.
Welcome to the show.
We got Lester.
All right. Before we get any other mistakes or anything, we're going to go ahead and start the show. You guys okay with that?
Sorry. It's Travis's fault.
All right. Here we go.
Yep.
I can see you guys, but we're not going to hear you, okay?
And now for something special. The unit is self-contained with its own saddler, farrier, wheelwright, and so on. It's a rigorous training dished out to know all there is to know about horses.
Yeah, this is our new red light right here.
Oh, okay, it's changed.
Yeah.
Oh, no wonder I didn't look. I was looking for the...
Welcome to Equine Dynamics with Mike Stein, the best podcast to create sounder horses from the ground up. Mike Stein is a registered journeyman farrier with an APF 1 accreditation. On this week's show, we have two members of the board from the IAPF Association, the International Associations of Professional Farriers. Am I saying that correct?
Close enough. That's about how I say it.
Okay. And we're going to talk to Lester Yoder and Ted he's going to stab me in the net.
Todd.
I'm sorry. Todd Santoro. There he goes. All right, Santoro. And we've got a bunch of stuff to talk about. Bear with me, guys. We're trying to this new thing out here, trying to get everyone on the same page. And Mike, are you on the same page?
I'm
over
on
there?
A page, yes.
So last week we were talking about my horse is getting fat.
Yes.
And so we have figured out that the hay that we were giving my horse was what I consider a McDonald's hay. Now, when I say McDonald's hay,
it came from McDonald's.
No, it's, you pay a lot of money for good hay.
Right.
$15 for a compressed Timothy or whatever like that. And now that we don't have Diego, the show horse, the new show horse on our property, and he's out there over at another facility, and he's getting all the pampering and all the training and everything over there. Dominique, our mare, who's 11 years old, she's got some arthritis problems. She exercises not as much as she used to. And so we've been giving her, I think, tall fescue or regular fescue, I think is what it's called.
Right.
She has put on so much weight, Mike. She's put on so much weight because, one, she's not being trained 3 days a week anymore.
Right.
And two, I guess tall fescue is just completely high in fat and calories like a McDonald's cheeseburger is.
Well, it's what we got local, but it's a little different.
It is. Well, the thing is, with the fescue is only like $8 a bale.
Right.
Which is fine. That's great. But when I get to the compressed fescue or the compressed Timothy, it's $15 for hay, Mike. For cut grass, it's $15.
Right.
For me to feed a horse something that already grows naturally on our lawn.
Yes, but they're worth it.
Are they worth it? They are worth it. I know they are. So, Mike, what have you been up to? Did you throw all your turkey stuff away? Because turkey, if you have any leftovers right now, that turkey stuff is bad. So throw that away.
Right. Turkey's gone.
All right. And have you been taking care of yourself? Anything new that's been popping up on your side of the fence?
Just, same thing we always do. I've been going back and forth with a couple vets on some x-rays and had a couple people contact me. Oh,
yeah, I bought you that brand new boom stand, Mike.
Need to move it.
Yeah, move the box stand so you can see it.
looked at some videos on horses and trying to catch up because of the holidays on work. But other than that, same thing.
You were talking earlier before we started the show that diesel gas right now is how much a gallon?
I think it's about $5.19 in Monroe right now.
And how many miles a day do you put on that truck?
Too many.
Well, how much?
Many.
Give us an idea of how too many, because 100 miles to me in one day is too many.
Right. I probably usually don't go 100 miles in a day, but, you know, last year, I think I drove, as far as shoeing horses working, I was over 40,000 last year.
Jesus. And at $5, and how many miles per gallon do you get in that truck? That behemoth that you got out there, that's, what is it, a Dodge
2500.
Yeah, and you've got another
diesel.
And you got another 6,000 pounds worth of farriering equipment on the back of that thing.
Not quite, but it's getting on up there. But, you know, if I could line everything up where I was always going downhill, I'd get great mileage.
Have you, or is there a way to have like a trailer being pulled behind it so you're not constantly towing that? Like if you go to the grocery store, I'm sure you don't have, do you have a grocery getter at the house? Like a smaller car, like my wife's Audi out there. That's the grocery getter.
There is a grocery getter.
Now you don't drive.
I don't drive the grocery getter.
I know, but do you drive your horses? Like you don't drive that going out to dinner with the missus, do you?
No, I don't drive.
You don't drive at all?
No.
Once you get out from behind that wheel, it parks and she drives.
It parks.
But I mean, are there people out there, and I'm sure there are, but why would you more likely drive a truck with everything in the back of the truck rather than driving a truck and pulling a trailer behind it and then dropping the trailer if you ever need to?
I've had 2 trailer rigs, and I've gone backwards with the trailer more miles than most people have gone forward. It's tough getting in and out of places. And, you know, I've got 2 trucks, and that's a drop-in, so I can jack it up and swap trucks if need be.
Oh, okay.
But for the most part, once I put it on the truck until there's a reason to swap trucks, it stays on that vehicle. And right now, the other truck's in the shop. But
it's still in the shop? Mike, it's been in the shop since season 3. Or has it been in and out of the shop?
I think he's charging me by the day.
He saw you coming a mile away.
No, it's in the shop, and it's just, he's backed up with work.
Is he?
And right now, that's not the most pressing thing.
Did you tell him who you are, Mike? Did you say, I am Mike Stein,
I did, and
the professional Equine Dynamics host?
Yes, I did, for sure. But you know what he did? He moved it out on the back lot.
He goes, oh, that guy. Yeah. Then it bothers me all the time. He'll put that in the back. All right, guys, we got a big show to get into, and hopefully I can say these gentlemen's name correctly under pressure. You're listening to Equine Dynamics with Mike Stein. He'll be right back. Don't hate me. I messed up the name. I'm sorry. Lester Yoder and Todd. I can't even read my own scribble here. Santoro. Am I saying that right? Oh, you guys. Oh, wait. There you are. Now you're on.
There they are.
There you go. Lester Yoder and Todd Santoro.
I think it's Santoro. Is that correct?
Santoro?
Santoro. Yep. Santoro.
Santoro.
I'm going to put, you know what?
Santoro.
Just like a bull.
Toro.
Got it.
Yes.
Yeah, like a bull. Yep.
Santoro. And then I'll mess it up and say, Chris Santoro.
I guess I should have worn an IAPF shirt with some IAPF stuff on it. But
no, you look good over there, Mike.
Yeah, I believe that.
All right. You guys ready?
I think, yep.
Okay. Welcome back to Equine Dynamics with Mike Stein. He was the official farrier of the 2018 World Equestrian Games. And make sure you follow Mike Stein on Facebook. And don't forget, for every podcast we do have a matching video just like this one here. We're venturing into new capitals, going into, you can see this video. It's got all 4 of us on the screen. And I'll introduce everyone here in just one sec. Over my far right hand side is Mike Stein. How are you?
I'm good, Travis.
And all the way, a couple board members from the IAPF Association. We have Lester Yoder. How are you? Uh-oh, his microphone's a little sketchy there. And Todd Santoro.
Hi, Travis. I'm Mike. I'm here.
Hey.
Thank you for having us.
Right.
Well, it's a pleasure to have both of you guys. And I see both of you, like Mike was saying, you've got your official shirts on, and Mike's got his
flannel.
He's got his bathrobe on over here.
Well, that's what I wear when I go to Walmart, just to wear my bathrobe.
All right. So the reason why we have you guys on the show is you guys have been a big influence in the whole horse community. And a lot of people don't know exactly what the IAPF is and what it does. So this whole episode we're going to talk about how why it was created, how it benefits horse owners, how it benefits farriers, and how it benefits the horses as well. So we brought you two professional gentlemen on as well to help us educate our audience, to let them know what you guys actually stand for. So first of all, how was the International Association of Professional Farriers created? Todd, you want to start us off there?
Sure. It was created 10 years ago. This will be the 11th year. And there was, 10, 12 founding members. They saw a need in the industry. The industry's changed a lot in the last 10 years. And if you weren't really had your finger on the pulse, you wouldn't realize that there was needs for a few things an association to provide. So their basic tenets were that they wanted to create an association that was based around continuing education. So there wasn't a lot of clinics and educational opportunities even 10 years ago. They were there. There were clinics and there was ways to get, the knowledge if you wanted it. But today, just 10 years later, it's everywhere now. So they wanted to create continuing education. In the past, some farriers would get educated to a level and then kind of stop, and they were efficient and serving the horse owners to an acceptable level. But the founding members, they realized and wanted to make sure everyone else believed that education took our entire careers and it never ends. And in today's world, it's much more obvious because now technology and shoeing and modern materials, things are changing quickly. And if you're not keeping up on the new ideas and concepts, you can fall behind pretty quickly. So continuing education was very important, not just one-time education. And then also inclusivity. So anyone that was involved with hoof care, it could just be people trimming hooves. It could be people just using like modern materials, not using, the older technology like steel or aluminum shoes. Everybody was welcome. You were welcome to join. You're welcome to be part of our community and become more and more educated in hoof care industry. And then as important was creating bridges between like the veterinary community and the horse owner community. So I'll let Lester touch on that, or Mike.
Yeah, Lester, tell us your experience with, the IAPF Association. Oh,
Are you picking up Lester at all?
no, I'm not. I see you just fine, but the microphone is horrible. No worries, Lester.
Right. I guess I kind of came into the IAPF a little later than these guys did.
Uh-huh.
Kind of sat back and watched for a while because
So you are a member of the...
I am,
Okay.
yes. Watched for a while because I've been involved with a number of associations and there were some problems.
Lester, you with us? Can you hear us okay? Yes or no?
I don't know if he's getting us at all.
Lester, you want to call us? All right, hold on. Let me switch things here. No worries, Lester. We'll take care of you. Can you hear us okay? No, you can't hear
He's
us
not
at all.
hearing us.
Just give us a call. We'll put you on the air.
Call Lester.
He's getting it.
Call us.
Yeah.
Call me. Call me. Keep your camera on,
Call
though.
Travis.
Maybe we can...
We'll work something out,
Yeah,
even
well,
if it's wrong.
We're going to get a microphone on him somehow here.
Right.
We'll see how bad his video is.
Well, it seemed the videos looks okay.
Yeah, his video's perfect. Got to move out of the sticks. I thought
I
we
got to
were...
go outside to use my phone at home.
Do you really?
Most of the time, yeah.
Is he calling me? Is he calling me? Or...
I don't know.
Call me. Thanks for hanging out with us, Todd. We appreciate you, man. Sorry, it takes a little bit for.
We're having some difficulties today, for sure.
No, these are just challenges. They're not difficulties, Mike. You got to be positive.
They're challenges, something to overcome.
Yes.
Give us a goal to reach for.
As I'm laying in bed, I'm like going, hopefully I'll have a whole bunch of challenges in the morning.
I'm positive. You want me to be positive? I'm positive we're having difficulties.
All right, give me his number. I'll call him. Let me see his number.
Okay.
He said it doesn't go through, Travis.
Oh, it doesn't go through? Oh, you know why? Because I've got mine on airplane mode. Do it again.
Another challenge.
Because I got it on airplane mode. There you go. Call me again. Here I am yelling at Mike about airplane mode, and I'm over here pluffing my feathers up, and I've got my stupid phone on airplane mode. Lester, are you there?
Travis woke up today. He said, "Let me create challenges."
Right, exactly.
There you go.
Oh, that's perfect. That's perfect right there. Yeah, we can see your video just fine. But you're going to have to turn your volume down or headset or something because I'm hearing my voice in the background.
Hang on. How's that?
That's fine. Can you still hear
Beautiful.
Yes.
me? Okay,
Yeah.
perfect.
I put this back on airplane mode.
Put
I'm excited about that.
Drop yours in a can of water for me, Mike. All
I've
right.
done that.
All right. So, where did we leave off? Lester, tell us your experiences with the IAPF, which is very hard for me to say. Those letters do not flow normally, like, NCAAPC or whatever, the NBA and all those other things. Tell us your experience on being in the IAPF Association.
I think what I was saying.
Yeah, that's better. Yeah, just
he
pick it
is.
up like a regular phone call now. I know I hold it up like he can see me. There you go.
I'm sorry.
No, you're
Going real.
You know what? Lester, you're fine. So just tell us your experience with the IAPF Association.
So my experience was the association is going through, and I guess what it was created. So every member's got its own profile of identity of a resume. So every clinic that you attend, you'll have that on your profile under your name. So it's on that IAPF website, like a horse owner, other people can go on there and they can view what each member has done.
So is this association almost like, the only way I can compare it to is like if you're a realtor. I'm part of the realtor community, and you have to have so many training, backlog training courses to keep your license up to date. You have to keep, go to all these, learning education. What are the new escrow rules? What are the new this and that? Now, I know farriers aren't regulated by the government for the most part, but you guys kind of step in and you like to see farriers go into a certain direction. This is what we learned last year of what to do and what not to do. And is this how you communicate all this to your community? And how large is your community right now, Todd?
That's a good question, Travis. So we aren't required to be licensed, and other countries are. And our association said we need to have a higher standard of education with farriers. So we place it upon ourselves, so it's kind of like self-regulation, and all the members, when they join, they say, yes, I want to make sure that I'm continuing my education. So we have a requirement, it's like 25 CEs per year, just like you were saying. So that's a good analogy, the Realtor Association, and they would be required to do it by law. So, and what Lester was saying is it was important that anyone, in the horse owner community, veterinarians, they can get on our website and look my name up, Lester's, Mike Stein's, and then we have under their profile is all their education way back. So you can look from year to year to year, as well as like recently last year or this year. And it lists, Mike has been going to the convention. Mike's been going to the Hoof Care Summit. Mike did this seminar or this clinic, and then he received CEs.
Now,
and actually, a lot of the
go ahead.
Travis.
No, you go ahead. Go ahead.
I was just going to say a lot of the farriers don't just settle for like 25 CEs per year. They'll earn 100 CEs or 200 CEs, and it gets real catchy, and people are going to clinics every month or other podcasts. So like listening to this podcast, we could apply for CEs, and then this podcast would be granted so many CEs for each podcast, and then farriers could listen to this podcast in their truck while they're driving, and then they would be earning CEs.
So not just this episode. Are you talking about all the episodes in general? Because this is the middle of season 4, and every season has 12 episodes. So we're working on about 40 episodes. So you're saying that we would qualify for getting CEs for farriers to listen to that go towards accreditation to the association?
Right, very possibly. So you guys or Mike would, or any clinic or educational thing, whether it's nutrition, it could be a veterinarian, it could be your podcast. You apply online. We have forms, and then there's a little questionnaire that says, how long is the podcast? What is the content? So it would have to be educational as far as like nutrition of a horse, farrier topics, things like that. And then it goes to one of our little committees, the educational committee, and then they review it and they say, yes, this podcast qualifies for 5 CEs, it's 1 hour or whatever. And then they're granted.
Awesome, Mike. Well, there you go. Now you know what to do next.
That's right. That's the next step.
All right, guys. Stick around. We're going to take a short little break, collect our thoughts, and come back. You're listening to Equine Dynamics with Mike Stein. We'll be right back. Lester, you okay? I hate to yell at you in the dark here. I don't want to leave you out.
No, I'm fine. You want me to try to log back in?
Yeah, if you want. I mean, yeah, by all means.
Stuck Lester in the closet. He's being punished.
Yeah, he's in the dark corner. Go to your room. You've been bad. Oh, he hung up on me.
Who's that? Lester?
Lester, yeah.
He started talking to you. Did you hang up on Lester?
He backed out, so I'm waiting for him to sign back in. He said he was going to try to sign back in. He hung up on the phone on me.
Okay.
So he's trying to call back in. There he is. Somewhere.
We got him.
There he is.
There's Lester.
Lester. Say a little prayer for me, Argentina. I just want to say.
Oh, I didn't know you could sing.
I didn't know I could either.
It's like me dancing.
Right.
Of course, I'm into break dancing. I knock stuff over.
When I dance, like all my bones crack, so I become an exotic dancer for the blind.
I've got an old bicycle wheel up over the house with a wire hooked to it for an antenna.
If only I had a speak and spell and an umbrella and a fork with a...
Yeah, an old umbrella makes a decent antenna too.
That was E.T. if you're catching the reference on that. He was phoning home.
Well,
Lester, are you there?
Lester, I am.
All right, just hold it like a regular phone call.
Okay.
That way you don't hear the echo in the background. Welcome back to Equine Dynamics with Mike Stein. He was the 2017 American Eventing Championship Farrier. And make sure for every podcast we do, we have a matching video as well. You can see me waving to Mike, Mike waving to me. We also have a couple board members from the IAPF Association on the video call with us right now. We have Todd Santoro. So sorry. We have Todd Santoro.
And we have Lester Yoder.
And Lester Yoder from the IAPF Association. How are you guys?
Good. How are you today, Travis?
Doing all right. Now, Todd, during the break, you said one of the letters in your association is the letter P, which stands for professionalism. And you say you guys in the association stress so much as far as being professionalism or the professionalism of being a farrier. Go into that a little bit more for me.
Okay. So, like the history of our profession, the farrier industry, it wasn't regulated, and it probably evolved from blacksmiths and the Wild West. And in other countries, it's very regulated, like in England. And so part of our mission for our association was to raise the level of professionalism, the standard of education. And that's why they put that the word professional in, the name of the association. And it's an all-inclusive word. So it includes, the way we treat our horse owners, as down to like returning phone calls and keeping schedules and using, a calendar and a schedule book, or the way we look. We stress that farriers should be, clean and orderly, and their trucks and rigs should be clean. And I'm not dissing other farriers, but throughout the history, sometimes the blacksmiths and the horseshoers were all sooty, and they're late for appointments, and their trucks were dirty, and
so one
clothes that were torn.
So one thing that Mike brought up several seasons ago was, you've got these professional farriers that are out there that are extending their education, that are doing this because there is a love, there's a need, there's a passion that they do.
Right.
We've heard several times that Mike was talking about his Mustang Sally, and the reason why he got into being a farrier is because he wanted to make sure that horses died of or passed of old age, and not because of any kind of lameness or anything like that. They should live out their whole entire life.
That's right.
As long as they possibly can. And he's also spoke about the six-pack job guy, the guy like you were talking about, Todd, with the musky clothes, all he's doing is just a 6-pack of beer type guy. If you're a horse owner out there and you're doing your own shoes, or you're looking for a farrier, one of the things a lot of horse owners don't know is, where do I start? And with this association, this is a great place to start, to look for your farriers, or look for any kind of in your area, a professional, rather than, hey, like on our Facebook page, not our Facebook page, but our local Facebook page for this town says, hey, I need a horse farrier. Does anyone have any recommendations? Oh, yeah. Joe Klein down the road shoes my goats. Why can't he shoe my horse too? And then Joe Klein comes over and he's ripping stuff left and right.
Joe's a nice guy.
He is a nice guy, but, I wouldn't trust him on my horse, though. Goats are fine. So this right here, which leads into my next question, the IAPF, how does it benefit horse owners? And I'm going to let Lester take this.
Okay. For horse owners, I think they want to go and search for the best educated farrier that they can find, and that they get along with on a personal level too, because we're coming into their barn and working on their beloved
And there
horses.
has to be some kind of trust, or some kind of, bedside manners is the only way I can describe it. You don't want to come in there thinking that you're, a 6-gun shooter, you got your spurs on, I'm going to do these horses type deal. You want to make sure that, again, bedside manners, you want to make sure that your farrier is listening to you and understanding what your needs are. And also, Todd, and you can back me up on this, I've heard Mike say this a million times, you want your farrier to look at the horse and go, okay, this is what I feel that's going on, because of whether it be a low pommel anger, or the height of the shoulders, or the back end's leading the front end. And Todd, give us your version as far as how horse owners can also benefit from this association.
So you're 100% right with that, that explanation, that description, Travis. So horse owners have kind of changed over the years, and there was a time when the horse was, just a mode of transportation. And even when I started, a lot of the horse people were trainers. Like, I started in the standardbred industry, and they're business people to make money. And today, horse owners, a lot of the horses are companion animals, and the horse owners care a lot about that partner, about that companion animal.
And one of the things I see all the time is when someone has lost a horse, they always say, I'm not looking for another horse. They always say, I'm looking for another partner, a riding partner. And it took a while for that vocabulary to kind of twist in my head and go, okay, are they looking for someone? Because I'm thinking my wife rides by herself all the time. She needs a riding partner. But no, they're actually talking about their actual horse. I need another companion. I need another riding partner. And that's the mentality of what these owners are now turning into. They're not just, like you said, using them for travel or anything like that. They're part of the family. They are their partner.
Right, exactly. And so then that influences the way a farrier should, approach his clients, the horse as well as the people. And like what Lester was saying, it's more of a personal level now. And horse owners as well are becoming more and more, they're very educated now. So there was a time when horse owners would just say, shoot my horse or do your thing. But today, horse owners, because they care so much about their companion, their partner, they want to know what's going on with that hoof. Same thing with your veterinary care. They're like, tell me what's going on with my horse as far as health and nutrition and the hoof. What do you see? How's the hoof changed? Is there thrush? Are there, changes in palmar angle? Is heels crushing or
Mike,
this or that?
Mike, were you going to? Oh, go ahead.
They want to be involved.
Mike, are you going to say something?
They want to be involved.
Yeah, I can tell you from personal experience, when you go way back, when I first started shoeing, I didn't know that much. And I found out when my horses had gotten in trouble that I needed to learn. And that's kind of what sent me on the mission. But for the horse owner out there, just accepting what farriers do, well, that kind of, sometimes things happen. And then your horse ends up in the vet clinic. And guess what? That's very expensive. And emotionally, it's rough on you when your horse is having problems. So the better the horse owners are educated, the better the farriers are going to need to be, which our goal is to leave this whole business better than when we came into it.
Now, when we say horse owners, I think of there's a trinity. You have a horse owner sometimes. Sometimes that horse owner is the rider itself. So sometimes you have a horse owner, sometimes you'll have a rider, and sometimes most of the time you'll have a trainer. So you have to listen and you have to incorporate, the horse owner says this, horse owner rider says this, the trainer will say this, and you got to kind of listen to those people because they're the ones that see the horses a lot more than the farriers do. And so listen to your trainers as well. So the association would also benefit connecting with trainers and listening to them and saying, hey, it's a little loose on the back end, a little loose on the front end, kind of like a pit crew.
Right. Exactly. The trainers that I work well with will always communicate directly with me. It's just the same with the veterinarians. And we want the veterinarians understanding that there are some educated farriers out there.
Lester, did you want to add to that?
No, I mean, I agree on what they're saying. That is 100%. It's got to be a crew, like you said, like a pit crew. And if you don't listen to the trainer or the rider and knowing what kind of terrain that they're riding on, we can't really necessarily help that horse in the best performance.
Todd, you want to expand on that?
And that's part of that professionalism. So it's a team. And in today's farrier world, the farrier is part of that team. And if they don't have the words, if they don't have the demeanor to work with the trainer, with the veterinarian, with the horse owner or rider, all at the same time, the horse is going to suffer. And that is a mandatory thing today. The days of the farrier just not communicating with anybody, doing his job, leaving, those days are gone. And it's more and more of a team effort.
All right, guys.
Especially as horses get higher and higher levels.
All right, guys, stick around. We're going to take a quick little break, and we're going to come back and talk about how the farriers will benefit being a part of the International Association of Professional Farriers. You're listening to Equine Dynamics with Mike Stein. We'll be right back. Lester, you okay?
Yes.
Okay.
I'm fine. Can you guys hear me okay?
We can hear you just fine. I just feel bad that you're not in the video, but the audio portion, we can hear you just fine. It sounds like you fit right in.
Well, it looks a lot better with him off the camera, right?
Yeah.
And Todd, you're doing awesome as well, man. You're picking up the ball, man. Lester, you ready?
Yeah.
Todd?
Yep.
Mike, you ready?
Right.
Go on.
All right. Welcome back to Equine Dynamics with Mike Stein. He is now a licensed thoroughbred farrier through the Kentucky Horse Racing Commission. And if you have a question for Mike Stein, the way you get a hold of him is go to equinedynamics.com. At the top of the page says contact us. Fill out that little form there. If you have a question for Mike, we'll answer it right here on the air. And if you put a return address, we got some magnets, some stickers. Mike's got a button over there, Equine Dynamics button. Did you give away all those keychains that I gave you?
Sure did.
Did you really?
Keychains, magnets, all that stuff.
Big hits, big hit. We'll have to get you some more out there. So put your return address and we'll get you out some free stuff just by being a part of the show. And make sure for every video we do or for every podcast we do, we have a matching video as well. You can see me waving to Mike, Mike waving to me. And on the phone lines and in the studio video call here, we have a couple board members from the IAPF, the International Association of Professional Farriers. On the phone with us is Lester Yoder. Yoder. Sorry. Lester Yoder, how are you?
I'm doing well. How are you?
Doing well. And on the video call, we have Todd Santoro.
Yes.
I get to survive this. I get to survive this round. So we talked about the I, we talked about the association, we talked about the professionalism, the P, and now we're going to talk about the F of the association, the farriers. How does this association benefit farriers? Todd?
There's a lot of benefits to being part of the association. Probably the one that I have found most rewarding is the go ahead, Trent.
Yeah, but I'm sorry. Before we continue, refresh my memory. You might have said it before, but my mind was spinning a million different circles in the background. The International Association of Professional Farriers, is it United States only? Refresh my memory. Where does it cover?
It started out as the AAPF, American Association of Professional Farriers.
Okay.
And today there was interest from other countries. So we have members in Switzerland, we have members in Australia, we have members in Germany, Taiwan. So it's an international association today.
Now I've seen a bunch of other, like on Facebook pages and stuff where I post the Equine Dynamics podcast. I see there's a Texas farrier committee. There is a North Carolina farrier committee. I mean, I know everyone's got good intentions and stuff.
Right.
You would think they would all kind of just go under one umbrella. And I keep bringing up the NBA because I used to play basketball growing up in school and stuff. So I always, that's my sport. The NBA is this big umbrella that encompasses the whole United States. Of course, now there's East and West. So there's nothing on the books right now that has an umbrella that covers the whole United States as far as farriers?
There are groups that do cover the whole United States.
Oh, is there? Okay.
There are groups that cover local areas.
Yeah.
Go ahead, Todd.
And there's some farriers just prefer to be involved with a local association.
I can understand that.
There's a couple in Ohio that have 30 members, and I'm a member of those associations as well.
Right.
And farriers they're just not interested in doing the national thing. But one of the most important benefits that I believe we offer is that networking, and so any of our members, we can get on the telephone and we can, I feel 100% confident. I could call Mike Stein and say, Mike, can you help me with this horse? I know you have a lot of experience with laminitis, and the relationships amongst our members is fantastic, and everybody is very, very close and willing to help each other, 110%. And that's not always like that in all associations.
Right. You're talking about that. Yes, I'm involved in the NCHA, and I've got farriers that I talk to weekly, and we bounce ideas off of each other and use each other as a sounding board. And some of the top farriers in the world are involved with this. And if I need somebody, so standardbreds, I've never worked with standardbreds. If I get into the middle of one, I've got some weird gait problem I'm trying to figure out, I can bounce it off Todd.
Now, Lester, Todd mentioned something about being in Ohio. There might be 30 members of a farrier group up there. How many? And you are from Ohio, is that correct, Lester?
Yes.
So
absolutely, we're actually both from Ohio.
So, do you know the 30 members that Todd was talking about? You guys have like a potluck dinner?
Yeah, I do know quite a few members out here in Ohio, and there's a couple local groups, and like Todd said, there's a benefit for small groups to come together. You know, you kind of feel more inclusive, I guess. And the IAPF does the same thing. We do small group clinics. I mean, we do it all the time. Some of these are state-by-state groups too.
And Todd, you're from Ohio as well, correct?
Yeah, correct. So let me add like about like the educational stuff, like the benefits, you guys. So like we were talking about inclusivity, and we have our association puts on like 8 to 10 big clinics a year, and so those will be like a national clinic, you know, in Kentucky or Ohio or down in Florida, in Wellington, Florida, and everybody's invited to come to those, whether you're a member or not a member. Those are always free. Nobody charges for our clinics. There can't be any fee to come to those. But we also have smaller educational opportunities. Like on Black Friday, we did a clinic. Lester was involved with it for the Amish community, because we actually have a lot of Amish members. And that goes back to the inclusivity thing. So Lester was on a panel, as well as 2 other Amish farriers from Ohio. And all they talked about for the hour, it was like a panel discussion, was shoeing the road horse, the buggy horse. And that's an education and knowledge that isn't available in farrier magazines, farrier books, because it's such a narrow niche, shoeing the horse for the road. And we did that, and it was a great turnout. We probably had like 600-700
Wow.
people in the audience. Yeah, it was great.
So I have a question for you. You say that you don't charge anyone for your clinics and stuff. That leads me to a thought in my head. Is the IAPF a nonprofit organization?
Right. Yep. Correct.
Okay.
Yeah,
so you guys have a board committee.
The board, yes.
Yep. How many people are on that board?
Up to six. And Mike is currently running for the board of directors.
Well, I'm putting my vote in right now.
Yeah, that's right.
Perfect.
Vote early, vote
Vice
often.
President, treasurer. Yep. So we have a board member from Oregon, and there was one recently from Texas, a couple from Ohio.
So give
You
our
have board member from Australia also, don't you?
Yep, there was a gal from Australia.
So give our audience an idea of how many members you actually have throughout the whole association across, all the different continents right now. Do you have any idea?
Well, it goes up and down, but there's usually right around 1,000.
Okay, so that's a pretty good turnout. And I guess you would assume that, one farrier can cover X amount of square miles. So it's not like, there's 250,000 farriers that are part of your committee, because you guys can cover so much ground, I guess.
Right.
Yeah. Mike,
go with that.
Mike says he barely puts 100 miles on his trucks every day. But the 100 miles that you do put on your truck, how many horses are you looking at? I mean, you're going to stables that have, 20, 30 horses at any given time.
Sometimes I'm in a vet clinic. There's a couple of vet clinics I'm in and out of on a regular basis, and it depends on the trainer I'm working with and everything else. But as far as covering a particular area, we all overlap each other, and we want to be friendly with other farriers out there, help each other out, because there's more horses in anybody's area than we can cover, and we kind of like everybody's got their own little niche, and I've kind of developed where I like to work. There's a lot of horses I cross area with that are something that is not in the realm where I care to work, and other people do that. That's their thing. They found their niche, and we're all good. I mean, we cross paths in barns. go to lunch together, all that.
And something that Todd brought up was like, if you had any question, you made the example, I can call Mike Stein because he's familiar with laminitis. And I'm thinking in my head, well, how many people are in this group? Now, if you say you have 1,000 people and then Mike's on the same note saying that each one has their own little personal niche, they have the basics. They know the strategic, how to work a horse and the biomechanics of a horse. But you were bringing up, is it Ian that does the
crack lacing.
The crack lacing. And a lot of people out there, a lot of farriers out there saying, I can do crack lacing, but I'd rather refer to this guy who's part of this, 1,000+ members. And it does make it a little bit more confident for me. If I was a horse owner and I had to call someone and, I would call Todd, I'd call Lester, I'd call Mike, and they would refer me to someone else, I would, it would have a lot more weight to that decision.
Right. And in those situations, stuff that I'm not as familiar with, I can contact somebody who is familiar with it and get some backup. And it's like Doc Redden, I've worked back and forth with him every year on a few horses, and I refer people to him. Talking about laminitis, he's kind of my go-to.
All right, guys, we're going to take one more short little break, and we'll come back and wrap up the show. Stick around. You're listening to Equine Dynamics with Mike Stein. We'll be right back. Lester, you okay?
Yeah.
All right, just checking on you, man.
We're Lester.
I'm fine. I don't know why my microphone on that damn computer don't work.
That's okay. If like Mike says, when we're all done here, stick around because I think all of us are going to talk here, or Mike's going to talk to you guys. But hopefully we can make something a little bit out of this. Hopefully something good will come out of all this. So you guys stick around a little bit. Where can they find you? Type deal. Where can they sign up? Any interest or anything at all? If they want to do that, where can they find all like your email address and all that and websites and stuff for anyone out there who wants to be part of the association? Sound good?
Yeah, I see where Todd was messing with his camera. Somebody showed me how to do zoom in and zoom out on using your phone not too long ago.
What do you mean zoom in? Like a regular, like if you're taking
on
a
your
picture?
Pictures, yes.
Mike.
I was doing this and doing this.
You mean you don't just walk closer to it and walk further away from it?
Right.
Yeah.
You're too funny, Mike. And you've got like the iPhone 20 or something.
Right, but you have to know how to use it.
I have seen short length movies shot on that phone, right? That not your phone, but that brand of phone, and you're having problems just finding airplane mode on it.
Having airplane mode and doing hoof shots. I was zoom in, zoom out.
Oh, jeez. It's a big wide world out there, Mike. Maybe that's something, Lester and Todd, that's something you guys could talk about, how to use the basics of your phone at one of your clinics to take horse pictures.
That's right.
I always said I said this a while ago. I said something, there should be some kind of app on your phone to help you take pictures that show you exactly what to look for and how to position a horse's foot to take appropriate pictures and all that. There should be an app. Todd, get on that.
That would be good.
Yeah, I don't think there is one.
I got it. Audio trademark.
Important.
Audio trademark right now. You guys heard it. It was my idea. Whoever invents it, I just want 10%. That's all I want.
That phone is an important tool for sending pictures to each other, as well as for liability reasons, documenting before, after.
Oh yeah, Mike.
That's a good app.
Last week's show, Mike was showing me pictures that he took with a regular camera that he went down the photo mat to get developed, and then he scanned them and then put them on he was showing me these pictures from 1997.
Right. At that point, I started learning how to use a camera.
Right. And then, and I did, it was so amazing that this, job, you had to take double prints and stuff and mail them to the farrier, 3 days later.
Shoot a picture, a short video of what I'm doing, send it to whoever, and ask opinions on it and get some guidance.
But, you're talking a 5-day turnaround. By the time you take the pictures, the farrier gets it, who's, a state away, and then come back and see your horse. Your horse could be foundered by then.
Right. We can get online and do it like right now today.
Exactly. That's amazing. It's amazing. Always amazing. Technology is our enemy sometimes, and sometimes it's our best friend. All right. Okay. We're going to come back and wrap up the show. You guys ready?
Yep.
Mm-hmm.
Okay. Welcome back to Equine Dynamics with Mike Stein, the best podcast to create sounder horses from the ground up. Mike Stein is a registered journeyman farrier with an APF 1 accreditation. And if you'd like to get a hold of Mike Stein, the way you do that is go to equinedynamics.com. Top of the page says contact us, fill out that little form, put a return address. Mike will send you out some stuff. And if you'd like Mike to come out and do a clinic at your location or appear at your event, you can fill out that little form at the top of the page. It says clinics as well. And it comes right to Mike, and he will work you into his schedule as well. And over on my far right side is Mike Stein. How are you?
I'm doing good, Travis. How are you?
I'm doing well. And on the phone and the video call that we have here in the studio, we also had a couple board members from the International Association of Professional Farriers. On the phone with us is Lester Yoder.
Hey, Travis, how are you?
Doing well. And Todd Santoro. How are you?
Good, I'm here. Hi, Travis. Hi, Mike. Hi, Lester.
Hey, how you guys doing?
All right. So what do we learn today? What was the main reason by creating the International Association of Professional Farriers? Todd?
The main reasons, there was a couple, was that farriers would continue their education throughout their entire careers, which we haven't touched on the accreditation program that we have. So you had mentioned that Mike is an accredited farrier, and we have several accreditations available to farriers, and it's important to the horse owner as well, because when they look up our profile on our website, you can see what accreditations the farrier has earned. So we have a foundation accreditation, which is all our basic horse shoeing, and then we have created accreditations for specialties, and we're going to continue to create more. So we have a hunter jumper accreditation, we have a dressage accreditation, a forging accreditation for making shoes and stuff, a nutrition accreditation, which we partnered with a well-known nutritional company, and the one that we're working on, which will be coming out real soon, is a modern materials. So a lot of the thoroughbreds and a lot of the therapeutic shoeing, you can't just nail big heavy shoes on a horse like steel shoes. So new modern materials have been created, the glue on shoes, as well as plastics and stuff like that. And we're going to have an accreditation, which when you do these accreditations, you learn the proper techniques, and you become experienced.
We get to work with the best of the best.
Lester, did you want to add to that?
Yeah.
I don't know if there's much to add to that, as far as I think Todd covered all the accreditation, the credentials.
Yeah.
And you get CE for doing these educational accreditations.
And
that goes on your profile for your horse owners to see what you're pursuing.
And hopefully we can get some of those, they're called CEs, right? Like the letter C, the letter E, that's what they're called. Right. And hopefully we can get a couple CE. Continuing education. Well, that makes sense. CE. Yep. So hopefully we can get some CEs for this podcast out there and make it a little bit more feasible and a little bit more entertaining for the farriers out there. Now, also, how does it benefit horse owners? I'm sorry, Todd, you were going to say something?
No, and I was just going to mention the other thing was that inclusivity. So, this kind of benefits horse owners as well. One of the most important part of our mission is that anyone involved with hoof care is welcome in our association. So you don't have to be farrier, traditional farrier, nailing on horseshoes. So there are a lot of people involved in this industry that just trim hooves, or they're just doing therapeutic shoeing, or they're using the modern materials and they're gluing on shoes, barefoot trimmers. There's people that are adverse to or having shoes on their horses. Well, any of those people providing that hoof care is welcome in our association, and welcome to continue their education, have access to that knowledge, as well as to each other. So from a horse owner's perspective, from our association, they can find someone that meets their hoof care that they want provided.
Is it just horse care, or can it be like we had someone sent us a pair of shoes, a picture of a pair of shoes that were for oxen? Is it any kind of livestock, or is it strictly equine?
We're strictly equine.
Okay.
But there are.
I mean, there's nothing wrong with that. I just want to make sure that, you know, what I say, Joe Handler down the road who's trimming the goat's feet, he doesn't want to sign up for it.
Right. Yeah. But there are farriers and trimmers in our association that will post pictures of them working at zoos and, you know, working on exotic animals, working on goats, and so there are people that do that type of hoof care.
All right, and this question is this wrap up is for Lester, because I want to make sure he gets his.
We gotta have a Lester in there.
We have to have a Lester in here in the 15 minutes. So, how does the IAPF, the International Association of Professional Farriers, benefit farriers?
The benefit from having their profile available of what they're doing from their continuing education. So since it's not like government regulated trade, all this is like a free will, so to speak, for us farriers to, you know, engage, and you get all that networking, and like Mike had said earlier, you have that availability to work with the best of the best. You know, you make those connections, and then you can find all these members on professionalfarriers.com. It's where our website is.
And that's professionalfarriers.com.
Yes, sir.
And that's also somewhere where horse owners can go when they're hunting for a farrier.
Well, there you go.
Professionalfarriers.com, yes.
Yes, sir. It's a farrier directory right there.
All right, Todd, you want to add to any of this?
No, I would just add how it benefits the farriers. I've heard stories over and over from different farriers that got involved with our association, and they said that their career and their business just went to another level, to levels that they couldn't have imagined, just because they embraced, you know, being a professional and providing professional services to their clients and running it like a business instead of like a part-time hobby or a career. And, you know, all that knowledge was there.
And you know what? If I was a young, and if I was a young gentleman and I said, you know what, I think I want to try this horse farrier thing, and I wouldn't know where to start other than just, you know, start YouTube University. You guys actually just accept anyone that comes in that has any interest at all about being a farrier, and you guys, I assume, would you know, under your wing and guide you and help you get along and be successful and.
There are apprenticeship programs, mentor programs, and to help the younger farriers get started, I had a number of mentors when I was starting, and they still help me out.
They still give you a hard time. All right, Lester, anything else before we let you go?
Think I'm good.
Anything else before we let you guys go?
We're good. Thank you for having us.
Todd, I want to. I'd like to thank a couple board members from the International Association of Professional Farriers. We had Lester Yoder and Todd Santoro with this podcast. We appreciate you guys for taking the time and talking to us.
Yeah.
All right. On that note, guys, I'm going to let you get back to enjoying the rest of your day. On behalf of Mike Stein over there.
Have a good one. Thanks, guys.
My name is Travis saying see you next week.
Okay.